Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Cedric Kennedy, and today I thought I would throw my hat in there after listening to what's his name? Oh yes, the Armored Skeptic, a guy that I listened to half as much, when rightfully so. I used to listen to him a whole lot more, and then he was just so overly logical and skeptical. I'm like, do you even believe you exist? So, I mean, a lot of things he said doesn't make sense. Yeah, but I mean, sometimes I'm like, dude, really? You go a little too far in certain things. So, but who doesn't? We all go a little too far, and especially me, I go to extremes. So, and he was talking about UFOs, so I thought about what about the conspiracies of UFOs? I thought about that. That's why we're on this site right here, Wikipedia. And my thought was UFOs, they keep popping up, or do they? And he was pretty much explaining and made sense about some of them. Most of it just drone warfare or crafts or whatnot before we were allowed to know that there were drones. There rockets or jet propulsion or anything like that. That's pretty much what it was. He was debunking a lot of things. Sound logical, but he goes over the line when he's basically saying that extraterrestrials don't exist or may not exist. And I'm thinking, nope, extraterrestrials exist. We just haven't seen them. Just like there are extraterrestrials out there in this galaxy, in this universe, that possibly they're like, look, there's nothing else out there. It's just us. It's amazing when you discover that somebody thinks that you don't exist because you can't exist because reasons. For the same reason why when I watched John Oliver, I'm gonna get into this real soon. John Oliver was doing a thing on North Korea and how the North Koreans were told that white Americans, eat their own, they're barbarous and they kill indiscriminately and a lot of things weren't exactly a lie, but the audience you can hear them. They were like offended. You can hear the shock and awe. You can hear the whoa, that's not right. We don't eat our children or sell them or what in the world? But the same stuff that we believe about other countries because that's what our officials tell us. So when you find out that everything that you do and believe is beheld by someone else against you, then all of a sudden you're offended. But I thought, what if this goes further? What if the UFOs, has anyone ever thought about it? Why do they pop up when they pop up? And I thought the earliest I can ever recall UFOs ever coming into play, which are unidentified flying objects. We're not going with the unidentified flying objects. We're going straight up alien craft. All right? That's what we're going to do. Straight up. And I'm not going to go through every single freaking one of them. And you're looking at my screen and it's like 1900s and whatnot, but no, look at you got your date at the top left, name, city, state, country. I was mainly looking at the date and the country. And I took notice, 1900s, I mean, let me scroll up. Not too much. Going back to 1561 plus is here in sketchy United Kingdom, Japan, Mexico, Venezuela. Then 1896 United States, okay, and then there's another United States, and then 1900s is kind of just gone. All right, it's just kind of gone. And I thought, what happened in 1940 or 40 and up? And I linked it. I thought all this political is all political. Those are my thoughts. It's all political. So, Franklin D. Roosevelt. People were getting about sick of him. These should be his last two reigns as president before Truman took over, because he was there for 16 years. But 1940, it popped up. Just look, you know, over World War II, just over the war. Then you got United States, you got China, United States in 42. And it starts to slowly pick up. 47 and whatnot. They were sick of Roosevelt, and it would be under the guise. I remember someone doing this is so long ago, and someone posted about how the rhetoric politically was, you know, the UFOs, who's going to protect us, yada yada yada. That whole, you know, fear mongering. They're unidentified flying objects. UFOs back then were not. They were it's abbreviation, unidentified flying objects. That translates to every commoner, alien. So the aliens, they're here, they're coming. No. So, okay. So now you got Franklin Roosevelt, 1944. You got Harry Truman, 1948. All right, let's go there. Because look at this, 1947. Multiple UFO sightings, same, about the same month or whatnot. 47, all the same. 48. We scroll back here. Truman is 48. All right. You get yours there. You got your 348. Then it starts to taper off. 49, 50. And then you get a surge. 1950. The 50s, 51, 50, 51, 51, 50s. Do you know why? Because back then, you still had the ability to vote in the vice president that you wanted. It wasn't tandem. It wasn't you vote for the president and they just, hey, this guy's with me, so it's a package deal. No, back then, the vice president ran just as hard as the president. I mean, you could easily have gotten a Republican vice president, with the Democratic or vice versa back then. So it didn't matter. You could have got a third party or no party vice president with the president. So when those elections, look, 48 still going, his reign, he was short, 52. So you got 1952. See, it's another election, and who's winning? Because you got Truman, now Democrat, because Democrats were the Republicans back then. The switch didn't happen until roughly 71 to 77 is when that switch, people didn't know what to do, who to vote for, or anything. But you have to ask everyone, who's going to protect you from the aliens? Every time a Republican was running, it's a spin. Okay, so basically, who's going to protect you from those evil, racist ass Democrats at the time? That's kind of how that was supposed to go. And Dwight Eisenhower did some great things, but he's 56 and whatnot. But the Republicans are in, right? Right? And see, I'm doing clicking back and forth. So there's something else that started around this time. There's something else that started, and it correlates. But yeah, he's 52 to 56. So you got Eisenhower, he's doing his thing. And you've got the United States until 52. And it's still 52. And then 53 and whatnot, it starts to taper off. It starts to taper off. You don't see anything. Look at that. It's barely any notice. 54 and up. Okay? So so Dwight Eisenhower, he's in. He's going to have another term. They know this. Back then, you could just project it. And at the same time, okay, 1960, John F. Kennedy. Now, 57, you know who's about to start running. You know what's going on, but there's something else going on. And it hasn't really caught on yet, but it's starting. It's starting. And that's Martin Luther King's run. That's slowly building. At the same time, at 54, it started. But it hasn't caught any airway. It hasn't caught the heat yet. It's still starting. He's still galvanizing. He's still trying to go door to door, and he's trying to convince people. It hasn't hit national news. It hasn't hit the magazines, the newspapers. It hasn't hit the lips of people yet because no one cares. Because he's only talking to black people, but they don't know what he's really talking about. Don't really care. But they keep an eye when his stuff starts to build around 1960. But you get this other person running 1957. Look, United States, it slowly builds. It's a little taper. And that taper right there, you got John F. Kennedy, who movies and whatnot depict him being basically, standard white, apathetic towards black people, but most likely racist. And he started to have a change of heart, supposedly a change of heart, and he was killed for that change of heart. 1960 was when everything started to kick off. That's when MLK's message was starting to get some notoriety, but not enough. 61, you can see the UFO sightings. They kind of pick up a little bit. 64 and 65 is when Martin Luther King's, his whole movement, the civil rights movement, really started kicking off. And what do you do with that? Because that's political. The civil rights movement was political. It won't, the black man will rise up. No, it was political. It was straight up, brothers got to be brothers, man. No, it was just political. It was to get the rights that everyone else has that's not black. And it was for every other minority group out there. Okay, that's what that was for. That was 1960s and starting to go up. John F. Kennedy, he was replaced in 64, Lyndon B. Johnson. 64 and up is when heat started really happening. So, what are you going to do? You have to distract. They cannot know this because it's on the news. But if the news is all about UFOs and aliens and whatnot, because look, 64, it starts to pick up. 65 to 67, it's going to be on the news everywhere. So while it's dominating there and then it falls off, these are about the same year, but then 65 is still going. 66 is still going because Martin Luther King is still going. Lyndon B. Johnson, I'm going to give you crumbs. Can you be happy? No, we can't be happy. We don't want crumbs. We want civil rights. We want equality. Full on legislative ratified equality. So there's all these distractions going on. United States, 66, 67. It's still going. 67. Distractions. UFOs it's like they're distractions. Yes, I'm throwing my hat in for the conspiracy theory, nut job thing, yada, 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 but you can't help but take notice of this. Am I saying that it's right? Am I saying that it's accurate? No, but I am saying that these things, there's a coincidence. There's a small correlation. I don't know how powerfully it's linked. It could be a mass coincidence. I could be dead on accurate. I don't know. I will never know. But 68, things started to go bad. And 69, King is not here. And United States is 69 and it starts to drop off. 69, there wasn't anything until 1971. And you gotta have somebody. You gotta have some 72. Let's see, no, 71, that there was one. 73, there's another. 73. More 73s. You got to wonder what the hell was going on in 1973 and 74. because by then you get others reporting on it from other countries, and they were. I remember hearing old reels like, oh man, remember back in this day when they had the UFO sightings and such, and how this guy expertly reported on it, and I remember all that. So what was going on in those 70s and whatnot? You know what was happening back then? You had Lyndon B. Johnson, he was done. Richard Nixon started coming in. Who's going to protect you, man? Who's going to protect you in 72? And then you got Jimmy Carter when this is after everyone's finalized, okay, look, Democrats are now the good guys and Republicans are the bad guys. Jimmy Carter's in, so you got to wonder, that's where that 76 came from. He was only in for one term because they worked hard. Because in 74, actually, people started running for president roughly 2 years in advance, but real small. You work the circuits of the Senate and Congress and whatnot. You work, your mayors and things like that first. Then when it comes time to show yourself the year before, when they're going to cast their vote for you, in all the primaries and generals, that's when you start working the people. So at this moment, what's going on? It starts to pick back up, 75, 76. I mean, come on, it's right there. So there's Jimmy Carter. Get him out. He's not protecting you. No, the aliens will kill you. The aliens will kill you. And you got Reagan, who's going to come in 80. And 79, there's a little bit there. Not too much, because you have to do the alien thing. It was all about Russia. It's been about Russia the whole time. So who's going to protect you? Who's going to protect you? The Republicans will protect you because, yay, 1980, the little sprinkle here. There's not much. 83, right before having to, run again. He's got to solidify another term. So, it sprinkles up again, just to keep it out there. And you also have to factor in the people who are also copycat. You got to think about those people. You got to think about the ones that wanted some notoriety. Like, I saw Alien Craft 2 over a barn. I got to ask, how come black people and Latinos don't ever see Alien Craft? Like I said, I believe extraterrestrials exist. It's like, you know what? I don't even believe it. I know they do. Because we're here. It's logical. I mean, that's not over logical. To me, it's common sense. We're here. They're there. We just ain't seen them. And I doubt they've come here. And if they have, we don't cry wolf so many times. We wouldn't know if they were not. Maybe it's like American Dad. Maybe it's like Roger and his people. They look at the United States and the rest of Earth and it's like, this is a great comedy channel. We look at all the destruction here and we laugh about it. The whole thing is a TV series to them. They've lived so long that our lives are TV series. And yeah, drums, we got it. That's Earth, drums, we got it. So 86, what's starting to pop off in 86? George Bush, he starts his run. Who's going to protect you? Who's going to protect you? And look, it's gone. United States for 87. Okay, he wins. Yeah, okay. And then there's nothing. 93, 94. Nothing. Clinton was surrounded by so much other stuff. They didn't even go to the alien race too much. I don't mean they didn't come back. Little spots here and no, not really even that. 2000. Not too much. George Bush was already in. Nobody cared. I remember 94 to 2000. I remember early 2000s, 94 to 2000, there were movies made. They didn't care about the TV too much. TVs didn't get too much UFO anything because the movies were crazy coming out about aliens this and aliens that and the crash landings and all this other stuff and conspiracy theories. And while that was going on, you got to shut it down in the news because everyone's already distracted. The news don't have to do it anymore. The Hollywood did it for them. So they don't have to do anything like that. But everything has a time limit. And all of a sudden, go down to 2006, 2007, there's nothing. 2008, that's when Obama is getting his start. He's getting his start. So 2008, there's a United Kingdom, USA right up under that. 2009 when he's inaugurated. And nothing. You know why? Because they knew that 2007 to 2009 was a blue wave. Actually, the blue wave started in 2003. They realized Bush is an idiot. This can't stand. He is a blemish. We will never have another dumbass in office. Yeah, never say never, right? No one can be as bad as Bush. No one is as dumb as Bush. Yeah. No one, rarely. Yeah, we got him. Thank you, dumbasses. So, United States 2011, United States 2014, United States again 2014, and in 2018, there's barely anything because there are lots of alien movies being made. They're out there. But I'm going to tell you this. Aliens have come back up. The UFOs have come back up since summer of 2016. They came up a little bit here and there. Now, 2 years before that, there was talk of who's going to run. So you got your little 2014 there. You got another 2014. And who was going to run? Hillary, Bernie, Trump. That's it. There was no who's going to protect you from the bad guys. It was who's going to slaughter the most people in the name of hatred. Who's going to give you what you want? Who's going to be the leader of the United States and lead us to prosperity? Nobody gave a shit about aliens. Nobody cared anything about that stuff. No one gave a damn. Nobody. Get this off the screen. And lower it, lower it, lower it. Ooh, look at that. It's like a little dissolve. Everybody, I'm just saying, are aliens real? Logically speaking, being factually logical, do aliens exist? No. Because for the alien to exist, the being from another world would have to be on this world to be classified an alien. Other than that, they're just whatever they are. Right now, we are Earthlings. If we go to another planet, we would be the alien. So do aliens exist? So far that I can see what evidence there are, no. They said, what about the Roswell landing in, was it 1951, was it? Or something? Show me something. Show me something. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If I were a species of another world and I sent a scout ship out, let's say it was a scout ship and it crash land, didn't come back, I'm going to investigate. And when I investigate and I find that you've taken our ship, taken our being, experimented and dissected and all these things to our being, literally it's going to be that reverse head nod and we're going to leave. And when we come back, y'all are screwed. It's that simple. Maybe that's what the Battle of Los Angeles was all about. Maybe it took, 20 some or 30 some years. And I'm not looking at the screen anymore, so I don't know. I'm not doing all that timing. So, but I'm just saying, maybe that's what it was about. Hey, we're gonna just sit this thing here and see how they react. Oh, look at that! They didn't even try to say hello. They just opened fire. Look at them, and they don't even hurt our ship. The bullets just fall short. They either can't reach us or they do no damage. They have no power. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to come back. Maybe 2000, maybe 2020, maybe 2030. They might come back and say, it's your ass. Who knows? They probably sent that ship to test. And to them, it ain't been but 6 months. To us, it's 30 years, 20 or 30 years. I mean, if I lost a comrade, even if I hated that comrade, to us, I'm an alien, I'm an outsider, and I lose my comrade to these beings that hate each other so much. They shoot each other all day long. They kill each other's nations and whatnot. And I think alien creatures, well, I keep saying extraterrestrials, otherworldly beings, I think they got the same society as us. I think it's no damn different. I think it's all the same. Checks and balances, a dictatorship or some kind of council of some sorts. I think it's all the same. It's no different. Beings are beings. You'd be amazed at how truthfully this universe is connected, no matter how distant it is. Every galaxy spins, and if it doesn't spin, that's probably because the galaxy died and is just fizzling out slowly. Slowly expanding as every star drifts away from a dead black hole. Or dark star, I'd rather call it a dark star. Because it's not a hole in space. There are no holes in space. Everything that's happened is just political. And I hope you have fun listening. Whatever you think, hey, put it down there. I'm curious. What do you think? You know, hey, was it all political? Is it just distractions? Just, who's going to save you? Or, well, he's not going to save you. Just spin it however you need for whoever you want to win or whoever you want to lose. You let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for listening. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning.